It's an unassuming spot here on the 8th Street corridor in one of the most vibrant communities here in Washington, D.C. This restaurant called Ron's, where they serve not just food, but also an experience.
Wanting to create something different. You always, I think in any industry, it's always good to be the first.
Hughley's restaurant is the first of its kind, a culinary adventure fusing food and Afrofuturism.
With a lot of the trauma that have happened to African people over the past 500-600 years, a lot of the things that we create are trauma-induced. Afrofuturism kind of allows you to create from a different perspective.
The term Afrofuturism was officially coined in 1994, though the concept existed decades before. The idea is this: to use science fiction to reimagine the history and future of the African diaspora, a world in which Black people thrive. That vision can be expressed through various genres.
My son, it is your time.
Like the big screen, the blockbuster Black Panther created superheroes of the fictional and near-futuristic African nation of Wakanda. And at Hughley's restaurant, Afrofuturism is expressed through food.
I can take this super heavy idea of this dish and put it into it, and then I don't even have to explain it to you. I can just let the dish be the representation.
Oh, the dishes, all made from scratch.
Our root is going to be from the African perspective in the way that we cook, in the way that we eat, but the ingredients can be from anywhere in the world. The most popular dishes that we have are the torch oysters. We use Scotch bonnet, we use flattened fish roe, pappardelle oxtail pasta. So this is a ever-evolving dish, but it's definitely one of our favorites. Our wild pepper prawns, which are actually Nigerian prawns.
That culinary trip inspired the restaurant's namesake. Bronze represents Alonzo Bronze, Hughley's own culinary superhero, a fictional character Hughley created himself. An explorer who traveled the world over hundreds of years.
Who had access to different cooking techniques and ingredients from around the world.
Guests are invited to go along on Bronze's trip, not just through food, but the restaurant's carefully crafted design and decor. The dark and dim first floor with wood tones representing pre-Earth. The contrasting second floor, Earth, bathed in exquisite natural light and light colors, adorned with images by a Nigerian artist of Alonzo Bronze's associates. The third floor, conceived as a celestial crane room, named after the West African crane representing ascension. For Hughley, it's a physical and personal journey.
I grew up in Washington, D.C. I grew up 2 blocks away from the restaurant. I wouldn't say it's a bad place, but it was very different than what it is right now, to where you had to be a certain person, especially when you look like me. As I got older, I had identity issues of figuring out who I really am. Finding what Afrofuturism is really allows me to be my true self, which doesn't have to be so reflective of what my actual skin color is. It's just like reflective of who I actually am as a human being.
And for his guests, this space, this fantasy world through food, is an invitation for a seat at the table and a conversation.
Some people that are there like, I get it, I love it. And then some people like, I don't really get it. Anytime you start to do something that people can't really reference, that's where you kind of open yourself up. But these wounds have to be open in order for us to tell our story truly how we want it to be told.
Frances Coe, CGTN, Washington.